Good. Twin crew, Dennis, Fredrik, congratulations on the new album. Before we get started in that, we'll go a little bit into your past and stuff. The band started in 2007 in Stockholm, yes?
Yes.
Cool. Were you all friends, or did you have to, take auditions?
The drummer that just quit, he was going to the same school, but it's a long story because we kind of have auditions, and we got hold of another drummer that was supposed to play, but he knew the singer, and the singer knew the bass player. So it's a long story, but
Wow.
yeah, in some way we just got hold of each other. So
Cool. Okay,
yeah.
so I guess your first release was an EP in 2005 with 5 tracks.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. The first EP was like, I think it was 2007, really.
2007 or 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you came out with another EP in 2009 with 6 tracks.
Yes.
And okay, tell me a little bit about them too.
Well, to be honest, I mean, it was the first recordings that were made.
Right.
And if you compare them to the album, it's like,
Night and day.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's the first thing that we were really young back then, or we were younger. But yeah, it was our first time in the studio, first time like doing some serious recording. But compared to the studio albums that we've made afterwards, it's as Hammar was saying, it's really night and day.
Then in 2011, you came out with a full-length album, 11 tracks, Judgement Night.
Yes.
Can you tell me how much difference were the EP compared to Judgement Night?
Well, first off, I think we have like 3 weeks of recording of that album, and we end up releasing that album by ourselves,
right?
Because it was really hard. We had really hard time to get like a record label to release it.
Right.
So we figured just release it by ourselves. So that the first album we own every rights, like all for the whole release.
That's good.
It's both good and bad because all the record label has a lot of connections.
Right. Yeah.
And it's hard for like a small band to like reach out.
Yeah. Wow. And Fredrik, were you also in another band called Sterbhaus?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you release?
You've done your research.
Yeah. So did you release any music with that band?
We did one album when I was in the band. I didn't actually record the album. I was with them to make the songs for the first album with Sterbhaus, and then I left Sterbhaus for Twins Crew, mainly Twins Crew.
Now, after that, your 2016, the Northern Crusade album in 2013 got great reviews. I read a lot of reviews.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that album.
The Northern Crusade, I would say, especially the first album and the second Northern Crusade is where we found our sound. I guess
Yes.
what type of music we want to play and what type of music we want to make.
Yes, it was the first album released on a record label as well. It's as Hammar said, it's where we got like where we want to be, like how do we want to sound.
Right.
It's a great album, and it was released with Scarlet Records that we released our newest album on as well. So yeah, it's a great album, and we released, I think Scarlet released 2 versions of the album. It was a they just released 1 version. It was a digipack version, and then we printed the vinyl version ourselves. It has a slightly different cover, and it was hand numbered, so that's a really rare piece, like the vinyl version. So it was printed but that was like all found and then paid for by ourselves, because we all love vinyl. So
right, yeah. Cool. Yeah. How many of the vinyl was released?
I think 200. Yeah.
Cool. They're all gone, right?
Yeah, we have a couple left actually. So if someone is interested, you be fast, because they're gonna go pretty soon.
Cool. Now in 2016, you released Veni.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that album. I really didn't get a chance to hear that one.
You go, Dennis.
That album was released on a Swedish label, and it was the first album when our previous keyboard player, he was much involved with the writing process.
Right.
It was a good album, but if I had to look in the rear window, I would say it's not as good as the previous album.
Right.
But
nor as the current.
The current album I think is the best, but it is a good album for sure, but it's not as good as the Northern Crusade album, I think. That's just my honest opinion.
Cool. Now in 2021, I guess you released a single, Future World.
Yes.
Tell me how that went.
We had a pandemic and we haven't released a whole lot, so we just figured like just to release a cover single, just to it was no record label, it was just us releasing a cover song.
Right.
Just to make some, because we during the pandemic, all this live streaming was really big. So we did a live streaming, and then we figured record a cover song and just release it on Spotify. So it was not really like we're gonna make a lot of listeners. It's just for something we haven't released something for like 4 or 5 years. So we might as well release a cover song.
Cool. Now the new album, Chapter 4. Tell me a little bit first about the video for Living in a Dream. Tell me how is that making out?
Hammer?
I think it's a good it's a good video. We have actually our previous drummer Uno in the intro of the video.
Right.
So it's a bit sad intro where Uno is sitting by himself having a beer. And it says "Living in a Dream," and then in the end of the video we have Dennis getting a golden shower instead with beer. So
beer.
So it's
the whole band. We're all in this for the fun of it,
Right.
So we always try because we paid for the recording, we paid for the video, we paid everything is like the printing for the album is made by the record label and so on. Right. But we're all doing this for the fun of it. It has to be you can't do I want it to be. Of course, everyone wants to be successful, but if you can't have fun along the way, there's no point doing it. So you have to enjoy what you do in order to make it work.
Definitely. Tell me, Scarlet Records, how they treat you guys, and are they a good label or what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because record label become less record labels because less people buy records. But Scarlet Records, yeah, I think they're treating us good, really, really great, to be honest. I mean, it's how should I say it? I mean, first we thought of releasing it by yourself, but it's so much work for like a single band just to do all the work, for sending out to all the press, all the media, and the printing, everything. What we want to do, we want to do great music, and we want to make great gigs. And if someone want to help us reach that goal and release the CD, I mean, we're more than happy to share that with them. So Scarlet Records is a great label for us.
The new album has 8 tracks. Were there any songs left off the album that you wrote and could have made it?
Yes, yes, there definitely were. We had like I think. 12. Correct me, Hammar. Yeah, exactly. I would say 12 songs. Yeah, 12 songs. But when we were standing, we're going to go in the studio now. We were speaking like, what's the point recording like 10 songs or 12 songs when we think 8 songs is awesome? Why would we pay more money to record 12 songs? Right. And we think 4 is not good. Why just release 8 songs and that's 8 killer tracks? Right, and the first idea we were supposed to have an intro for the album as well. Right. But that was cut out like really really late, just before we sent the master to the record label. Because Fredrik Nordström from Studio Fredman, he told us, the intro is like 2 minutes. It's pretty long. So, okay, yeah. So we saved the intro for the live shows. Yeah. That's good. That's good too. Yeah. They get a little treat there. So. Of course. Yeah. I'm going to go down track by track, and we'll go to each member one at a time. Tell me what you feel about each song, and how's everything going. The first song is "Choose Your God," which I thought had a Manowar feel. For me. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's start with Fredrik. What do you think about that song?
It's a heavy song. It's a song that I love to play live because I love the beat from the drums. I love the beat from the bass, and it's a cool and heavy guitar playing as well. And then also Andreas' song is rougher in that song. So I like it a lot.
Cool. How about you, Dennis?
Yeah. As you were saying, this really has this Manowar like feel to it. I think War is of the World. The drum intro, and it had exactly that kind of feel we want to reach with that song. And it's hard because when you want to this is the song we want to make, but we don't want to make it. We don't want to make like a copycat version of that song. So you always want to make it a little bit unique.
Next track is "Never Stop Believing," which I got to feel a Helloween with that one.
And that's my absolute favorite of the album. Actually, that song has everything. Right. Yeah. Period. It's you have the drum solo, you have the fast guitars, you have the good
theme
chorus, classical theme, and
theme.
It's a great song.
The drum solo, the sing along is it's a great song. Yeah,
it doesn't have a bass solo. So missing one thing.
For the next album, we're gonna have a bass solo.
Next album, we're gonna have a bass.
Let's go to the next track, "Living in a Dream." Tell me a little bit. Start with you, Dennis.
That track was. There's a Swedish band called Chronic Temple, and they made a song called "Swords and Diamonds." Right. And I think that song was the main inspiration for this song, because me and David, when we were young, we were used like drink a lot of we're drinking and having a good time to that song. And we just figured it's such a great song, and it hasn't deserved the attention. It hasn't got the attention it deserved.
Right.
So we just figured we're gonna make our version of that song. So it's a tribute to the Chronotic Temple song "Swords and Diamonds."
Cool. Next track, Warrior of North. Tell me a little bit about that, Fredrik.
That's a speedy album. And my I remember when me and David when we wrote that song, we were at my place, and then we just put a drum beat from YouTube.
Right.
And how many BPM should we have on this one? And then we just maxed it out, and then we and the song was written. It's a power metal song. It's a full speed.
Definitely. How about you, Dennis?
Yeah, it's a good song. I wasn't really involved in the writing process of that song, but I think, yeah, as you were saying, it was you and David that wrote the most, and then the lyrics was made by you and Lille, I think. But yeah, it's a great song. Yeah, I love it too.
Next song is Fire. Henrik, tell me a little bit about that, Fredrik.
Yeah, that's a live song. It's a heavy metal song for live performances with strong chorus and to get the audience to sing along.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes simple is the best. It's
Definitely. How about you, Dennis?
Yeah, it's I mean, Accept is one of my favorite band and one of the biggest inspiration. It's and as you were saying, it's sometimes just to make the simple sound really, really good. That's one of the hardest thing to do. Like, just give like this chugging riff and make that sound good. Is harder than you think, actually. So yeah, I think it's a good song. In a true Accept feeling.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How about Without You? How about you? Let's go with Dennis first this time.
Yeah, it's the ballad of the song. It's usually it's not like the normal power metal ballad, as I was saying. I come up with the chords for the ballad, and then Hammar and the singer Andreas came up with the lyrics. And I guess the lyrics is inspired. It was written during the pandemic. Right. I mean, a lot of people lost their loved ones, and it was inspired by that. So yes.
How about you, Fredrik?
Yeah, I like Dennis said, it was inspired during the pandemic. We all lost loved ones, and the song itself is maybe a bit more mainstream than power metal, but it brings a contrast to the whole album. I think this song. And it's something for the ladies as well.
Yeah.
Important.
And you have to keep in mind, we have to make people rest their necks for all the headbangers.
Yeah. Definitely. How about Order 69?
Yeah, that's a good song.
You like
that, Dennis?
Well, the theme is, or the lyric theme is inspired, as someone has already said, by Star Wars. I think that this song was written in our rehearsal space, and maybe I came up with the theme, or David, or you, Hammar. I don't know. And I mean, just to talk about like the whole album in general, a lot of people, like, we write our songs in the rehearsal space. So everyone comes with their opinion, because it's I think it's pretty normal, like, people write the whole album in the like in a home studio or something, like but
Right.
we have a tendency like everyone can come with their own opinion and change it, or
Yeah.
and I think that's a good thing, because if it's just one or two guys that write the songs, it's gonna like
Sound the same.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna become really narrow. It's gonna
Yeah.
become narrow. Like has a tendency to like sound, as you were saying, all the same, like they're kind of similar. But that's like that. This album has really like variety of songs. It's like it's hard rock, power metal, heavy metal, if you will. So yeah.
Cool, cool. Let's go to the last track, Fighting for the World. Fredrik, let's start with you.
Yeah, and that's also was also written during the pandemic, and I think the lyrics came up also when the war started in Europe and stuff like that as well. And
Yeah, but
some inspiration from Greta Thunberg, maybe, I don't know.
yeah. The lyric is kind of inspired by the whole like global warming, the whole like everyone like the whole thing with the what do you say, environment, or the
Yeah.
Right.
condition of the it's so we actually have doesn't we quote Greta Thunberg in the song, or kind of, I don't know. It's I don't know, but that's the like the idea of the song, the so and the whole feeling is it's kind of like an Iron Maiden tune,
Right,
it starts like Afraid to the Stranger. It's like that kind of feeling. It starts like slow, then becomes heavy in the middle, and starts
Yeah.
slow.
Right.
No, it ends up
Gonna
being
be
slow.
a name, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool, cool. So, Fredrik, who's your favorite bass player?
Steve Harris.
How can you not? Right? How can you?
Yeah.
And Dennis, who's your best guitar player?
Yngwie Malmsteen, for sure.
Yeah. He takes a little bit of a dip lately, live, but his early stuff was fantastic and stuff like that.
It's magical. It's magical. I've seen. I'm a huge Yngwie Malmsteen fan, and I'm so sad to see how he take his heritage. He should play the big stages.
Right.
He really should, because he has made so many great albums, so many great songs. But sometimes, he's ending like I don't know what to say. He should. He's not seeing what's best for him today.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he's a living legend. And here in Sweden, we're from Stockholm, and he's from Stockholm as well.
Right.
And so he's here. He's like a living legend as well. It seems like everyone you meet has somewhat relation to Yngwie Malmsteen. It's my former my mother's former roommate or something like that. I mean, it's so for sure. He's made a huge impact on the band and the whole the whole music industry, or in heavy metal in Sweden, I think as well. But as you were saying, he deserved a better fate.
Right. I think my favorite guitarist is probably Randy Rhoads, and bass player. I'd probably have to go with Steve Harris or Billy Sheehan. Either one of them. But Yngwie's up there too.
For sure.
Definitely. So, you guys got any shows coming up you like to talk about?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. On Friday next week, we actually have a release party in Stockholm for Chapter 4. So we're gonna play as well on stage on the release party.
Is it Stockholm's one of Stockholm's only live scenes? Maybe like a lot of live scenes has closed in Stockholm. So it's at Pub Anchor. It's a legendary rock stage in Sweden, or in Stockholm. And then we have the show in March with the
Dragonland.
Dragonland and Palantir.
Palantir,
It's and that's going to be a great one as well.
definitely.
It's like a power metal festival.
Cool.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys have any merchandise you'd like to talk about and where people could get it?
Well, at the moment, we're looking at open a web shop with a T-shirt now, but we're working on it.
Mhm.
But meanwhile, it's a normal place where you can buy records.
So, Fredrik, what would a dream come true be for you?
Dream come true would be Sweden Rock Festival. Actually,
Oh.
that's high on my list, and of course, we will love to go to other borders and play around Europe, maybe America if the tariffs.
Yeah,
Good.
forget that. I was gonna bring up a question.
But going out of Sweden, definitely. But the Sweden Rock Festival is or Wacken Open Air in Germany would be very cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask a political question, but I decided to skip it. So, Dennis, tell me what's a dream come true for you?
Well, for me, it would be like an opening for Iron Maiden, like a opening act for Iron Maiden tour. That would really be a dream to come true. I mean, for Helloween or another, we have played song festivals and had the honor to meet this big legendary bands. But yes, but as Hammar was saying, like playing Wacken, Sweden Rock. We played almost every big festivals except Sweden Rock in Sweden. So
that's huge.
we hope. We still looking for to play on that stage.
What's the popular music in Stockholm at this time? Is it power metal? Is it still glam? Is it whatever?
Yeah, as you were saying, the glam scene was pretty big but it's being less popular these days. But I would say we have a big mixture of if you talk heavy metal wise, you sure have the glam. We have the power metal is not huge. I would say. I mean, definitely the heavier metal, like death metal or melodic death metal, like In Flames. I think that's a little bit more bigger than power metal in Stockholm. It's hard to tell, but metal in general it's huge here.
Yeah. Seems like Stockholm brings the best bands to the world. Actually, all my favorite music is from Stockholm. Start with Crash Diet all the way up to you guys. So congratulations on having in my mind, the best music in the world.
Thank you.
So you guys, it's great talking to you, Fredrik and Dennis. And Fredrik, would you like to say anything to the fans in closing?
I hope to see you at Pub Anchor next week.
Yeah, and listen to the album, share the album, share the videos, because that make the whole effort worth it. So that means a lot to us, and for you to making this interview.
I hope you guys play the Sweden Rock Festival. That's huge in America too.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's all you hear about. Sweden Rock Festival.
How about that? You have that cruise that 7 tons. That's big here. It's a big thing here.
Right, yeah. Definitely. Monsters of Rock cruise. So congratulations on chapter 4, and make sure everybody support it. And thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.